and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. For those of you who don't know me, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by today. Today I'm going to be reviewing the makeup that my husband picked for me for a week, as well as talking about my new picks for the upcoming week. So we're going to get right into the makeup that my husband picked out for me. So the first thing here is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is the matte and poreless, and I have it in 125 Nude Beige, which this is not my winter color. So I was kind of glad that he paired it with the Tarte Shape Tape, because that usually can kind of save me and not make me look so orange when it's the winter months. I do like this foundation. It's not necessarily my most favorite though. It's okay. It's not one that I'm like, oh, I must have that. But when he paired it with the Tarte Shape Tape, I felt like it saved it. I love the Tarte Shape Tape. So overall, he did a pretty good job with that. Next, we're going to talk about the Wet n Wild Pressed Powder. This one is not a favorite of mine, so my heart kind of sank when he picked this one because it's just not a favorite. I don't know. Here, I'll kind of show you what happened to mine. And this was using like a new powder puff and everything. It kind of got like this weird like oil ring around it. And this powder puff was new in the beginning. And so I don't know if it was just because I was taking the powder puff, touching my face, and then going back in, and it kind of did that. But my other powders don't really do that. The next thing here was the Pacifica Blush. The tape was on it to tell me which one to use for a specific video. I actually like both of these blushes. I love how natural this one is, and I love how rosy this one makes my cheeks. So this is not one that I often reach for, and it smells like coconut. And I don't know why, because both are beautiful. And my husband just made me realize that I need to look at some of the things that I don't pick up quite as often. Let's talk about the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. This, I think I used it once the entire week because I tend to just naturally reach for the Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm still trying to use this up. This e.l.f. primer is good. It's not the greatest primer I've ever tried. As I said, I like to use the Tarte Shape Tape to prime my eyes, but not a bad pick. The next thing here is the Smashbox Radiance Primer, which this actually surprised me. I really enjoy this primer. It's actually one that I'm thinking about picking up from Smashbox just because I like how tacky it is. It has nothing to do with the radiance properties. It has everything to do with the how tacky it feels and how I feel like it actually does help my foundation hold up. So this is definitely one I would pick. It's not like the typical Smashbox samples that you get. I do enjoy this one, and I think I will be purchasing a full size. So thank you, Chance, for making me try this week because I didn't want to. The next thing here is the Bio Aqua Dimensional Eyebrows. This used to be the only eyebrow pencil I used. I mean, it still has a ton of product in there. So it was kind of a good thing that he made me use it again. I don't. I think he likes it because it's not as dark as the other ones. He's often is like, your eyebrows are so dark. And sometimes they are. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes my eyebrows are dark, but sometimes I make them that way. The next thing here is the Colourpop Hello Kitty Ultra Matte in the shade Mimi. I love this one. So he did a really good job picking this. So the pick that scared everyone, including me, was this Wet n Wild Mega Liner in Voltage Blue. His favorite color is blue. So the second I grabbed all of my eyeliners and laid them out in front of him, of course he'd gravitate towards this one. But I do really like the brush that is on these Wet n Wild ones. And the color ended up working. I wore it out to a couple of places. I wore this liner a couple of times this week. And it really did kind of work out. And I'm glad he kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone with that. So that was a fun pick. Next here is this Kokie Professional Stay Dry Waterproof Mascara. Hey, I didn't realize that Kokie Cosmetics was made in Italy. It says it right there. Anyway, this mascara is okay. It is a very basic wand. I don't feel like it lengthens, does anything really to my eyelashes. It kind of separates them a little bit, but it is not the end-all be-all of mascaras, and it's okay, but it has a cute little elephant on it. That's a bonus. I probably won't purchase another mascara from Kokie Cosmetics unless it just turns out to be phenomenal and everyone's raving about it. But no. The next thing here is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. That looks like, I like this, but it is a very subtle kind of glow. It's not like an in your face. And so, I don't know if it's showing, but it's very subtle. And it's not, I guess, the typical highlights that I kind of reach for. See, it's like, slightly. So when he grabbed this one, I was like, I have, like, inside, I was like, I have such more blinding highlights. And yeah, no. That's not what he picked. That's okay. Live and you learn. It's first time picking out my makeup. We're working on going up to purchasing all of my makeup for me. So that video will be in the future. Next here is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. He actually said to use this as an eyeshadow palette, which I was fine with. I also used it to contour, but it came in handy since he gave me an all shimmer palette, which I'll talk about next. But I love this. So I was pretty excited he picked this one out of all of my contour palettes because I think this one blends the best. And finally, the Galaxy Chic palette that he picked. This is this one, and I specifically had to use the shades Prometheus and Mercury in a look together, and I kind of played around with some other ones throughout the week. And yeah, I like this palette for like pops of color. It's a fun palette to play with. As you can tell, if you don't see that, Aphrodite and Prometheus are favorites of mine. I will dip into them quite frequently, and it was fun to get this palette out again and play with it because it sits there and it looks pretty and I need to grab it more often, which is why I like doing these makeup of the week. So overall, I think my husband did a pretty good job picking out my makeup. I was actually really impressed with the items he chose and really impressed with the overall look I came up with. And as everyone said, his reasonings for what he chose were funny. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it up in the cards for you. So we're going to get into this next week's makeup. I'm kind of setting some stuff out. So the first thing I want to start off with is the fact that I picked two different primers here. This one is the IT Cosmetics Serum Collagen Veil Anti-Aging Primer. I have a sample of this and I want to use it up. And then I also picked the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer. And since these are both smaller, I wanted to see if I could use them up this week. So I thought that would be a fun test. And I've never tried a primer from IT Cosmetics or one from Too Faced. And never tried one in like a spray, so I'm kind of curious about it. The next thing here is I have my Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir, and it's in Classic Ivory. So I will be pairing it with the Manic Dreamtone in Virgin because this one is currently too dark for me. So I do need to tone it down. So these two will be my foundation that I will be mixing together to get the overall right look. And then I'm going to try my Colourpop No Filter Concealer, and I have the shade Light Neutral. And so I'm curious to see how this works. I've heard great things about the Colourpop concealers, and it's pretty close to the shade I have in my Tarte Shape Tape. Next, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD Powder in Clear. That's what that looks like. I have hit pan on this powder. It's one of my favorites. For my eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using this BH Cosmetics Smooth Canvas Primer, which I've used before. I actually really do like this primer. So then I'm going to, for blush, I'm going to use the Studio Makeup Blush, and this is in this shade, it doesn't say, it says Luminous Loose Blush. So we're going to give that a try because It's just been sitting there and I haven't really tried it. Next is the Strobing palette from Kokie Cosmetics. And I haven't really tried these other than to kind of swatch them and use them in my Kokie Cosmetics video, which I will link up in the cards as well. And then for contour, I'm going to use my NYX Double Date contour palette here. And then for my eyes, I picked two palettes. I picked the Winky Luxe Kitten palette because I have not tried it yet. And I've heard kind of mixed reviews on this palette, so I want to give it a try. And then as well as the My Little Pony palette here. And I thought color-wise that these two palettes would work nicely together and that I could create kind of a look and have different shades of mattes and things as well. And then for my eyebrows, because I got sent this in a BoxyCharm, I am going to try and use up this MAC eyebrow pencil in Spiked. I'm going to use this Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. And then I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I did pick 3 completely different shades of lips. I picked the NYX Lip Lingerie in Teddy. Then I picked one from Spoiled Lips in Wicked. If you guys want to see that one, because you can't really see it. It's kind of this really deep kind of berry color. And then I went with a Ciate London Liquid Velvet, and the shade is Pinup here. That one kind of looks like. And so that will be my makeup for this upcoming week. If you guys could give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I hope that you look forward to seeing me use these products this week. I will have everything linked down below that I will be using in this upcoming week. Thank you guys again, and I hope you have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are, and bye!